Hey, it's Jose here, and today I'm going to share with you one of my best kept strategies. This is for finding a perfect product to sell on Amazon. It's super simple, it's super effective, and it works every time. And when you see the logic, you'll see why it works. It removes all the guesswork, all the stress, and it enables you to look at winning products in minutes. So strap in and let's do this. This is a part of the whole equation that I think many sellers, if not most, suffer with the most. Okay, they spend the most time. And by the way, I do talk from first-hand experience, because when I first got started with Amazon a few years ago, I also had this approach. And you sit there thinking, what can I sell? And I consumed tremendous amount of information. Everybody had an opinion, and many people push the idea that, and I say push in a nice way, I mean, they're giving you advice that they believe in. Okay, you can't fault them for that. But their idea was that you should walk around with a notepad, you may have heard this before, and just jot down every single thing that you can think of, take the notepad to bed, wake up in the middle of the night, write down more ideas. The other one is walk around the house looking at everything that you use as if for the first time. And hey, if you're using those things, other people may want to use those things. And seriously, just do not do any of that. It will consume your life. It will consume your entire day in search of that perfect product. Okay, so after I launched my first brand, when it came to my second and third brand, I actually took a different approach, and I actually sat down and thought about this logically. And here's what I came up with. Would you buy a car, let's say from the 70s or the 80s, that really looked terrible, a very small dinky car that you just don't like? Would you buy one of those if you had the opportunity? And I'm not talking about a collector's car here. I'm just talking about a car that really wasn't worth anything other than scrap value. Okay, so if you had the choice, would you buy that car? Well, chances are that you wouldn't, especially if you didn't like the car. But back in its heyday, that car may have been a bestseller. Okay, and that applies to almost everything. So what I started to think is that products are actually tied to a timeline. There may be a best-selling product now, but they may not be tomorrow. So when you look at it that way, it becomes completely and utterly pointless to try and dream up the perfect product, because there is no such thing, because the perfect product today is not going to be the perfect product tomorrow. Do you see what I mean? And this is great news, by the way, because this should relieve all that tension, all that nail biting, and all those sleepless nights from people trying to come up with the perfect product. And it really is looking through the wrong end of the telescope to try and imagine the perfect product in your head. Now, there is one exception to that, and that is somebody who invents a product, something that doesn't exist, or a variation of a product, and then that product being a big hit. But obviously, you don't want to do that with Amazon FBA, especially if you're just starting out. You want to play it safe and sell something, at least to start with, that you know is going to make money. If you're going to start inventing things, then you're taking a bigger risk than doing it the other way. So I'm not talking about innovating, and I'm not talking about inventing. I'm just talking about launching a perfect product that sells well in Amazon. How do you come up with that? How do you come up with great product ideas for Amazon? Well, let me show you the only thing that you need to do. Okay, you go to Google, you type in Amazon bestsellers, you press enter. Your local Amazon is going to come up for you in the results. So for me is this one, and this is where Amazon hide all the best sellers. Now look at the tabs at the top here. You've got hot new releases. Okay, You got movers and shakers. These are the products that are now rising to the top. You've got the most wished for, which is actually a very interesting tab to look at. And you have the most gifted. But on the left hand side, you also have a ton of categories. So this is where you start your research. Let's say that you have decided that you want to sell pet supplies, okay? Well, all you do is you click on the pet supplies category, and Amazon is telling you right now what is selling better than anything else. There is zero guessing involved. And would you believe it? It is pet nail clippers. That is the #1 best-selling product in the UK right now in Amazon under pet supplies. Now, I talked through all that, but it really only took half a minute, 30 seconds, to find the very best product that I could sell right now in pet supplies. I didn't have to walk around with a notepad for an entire week. I didn't have to stare at my dog every day to find out what it is that I could dream up. There was zero anxiety, zero nail biting. I didn't even have time to have a coffee. And I have the perfect product. And I could scroll down here and have a list of perfect products. So that's how you find perfect products to sell in Amazon. When you realize that how perfect the product is tied in to a timeline. And that's applicable for almost everything, unless you're selling oxygen and water and toilet paper and coffins. Those things are always going to be bestsellers for the right or the wrong reason. But generally across the board for the rest of everything else, it's tied into a timeline. So while the rest of online sellers sit there sweating it out, trying to dream up the perfect product, all you have to do is ask the right question. What is the perfect product to sell in Amazon is not really a great useful question. It's going to send you down a rabbit hole. The right question is, what are people buying in Amazon right now, in the marketplace that I want to sell in? So as I said in this example, if we wanted to sell pet supplies, what we would do is we would go to Amazon bestsellers, we will click on the pet supplies category and look at the #1. Well, we can look at the top 10 or we can look at the top 100. Even the product listed at number 99 is a bestseller. Out of all the products in the pet supplies category, that number 99 product is the 99th best selling product. So that's nothing to turn our nose up at. The top 100 products are a great starting point. I'm just focusing on the #1 product just to make things easier, but you can just scroll down this list and look at the one that you actually like. Now, let me also point out that we are in the pet supplies category, but under that, you see all these subcategories. So we could sell stuff for horses or for fish or for cats or birds or dogs. So you can really narrow down. In fact, let's go to cats. Okay, let's see what the #1 best-selling product is for cats. Well, right now it is the flea thing, the frontline thing. Now, this is a brand, so we couldn't compete with this, not realistically. So if I was going to sell something in the cat supply, if I wanted to sell something for cats, and bear in mind at this point, I've got no idea of what I'm going to sell. All I do is I go to Amazon bestsellers, I go to the cats category under pets, and I look at what people are buying right now. Now, the first product there is out of my league. I'm not going to compete with Frontline. The second one there is a catnip spray. I've no idea what that's about, so I'm just going to ignore that. But look at the third one. It is a microwavable wireless heat pad. Now, I think that's to keep the cat warm, I would imagine. Okay, so let's have another look down here. We have a toy here. A freshwater drinking fountain. Now that's interesting, and that's #5. That's a good seller. Now I can imagine cat owners wanting the best for their cats, and yeah, fresh water. That to me sounds like a potentially good product. #6 is cat treats. We're not going to go against that because it's Felix. That's a brand. Let's not get into that. But you see what I'm doing here? I'm basically going down the list and actually looking at what products I could realistically go for. Okay, so let me go back one and let's just look under dogs. I'm just curious now to see what's the best seller. Okay, so the best selling product for dogs right now are dog pet nail clippers. Now, that's a good product for an Amazon FBA seller because it doesn't weigh too much and it's small, which is going to enable you to buy a lot of units and keep your shipping costs relatively low. And it's also going to help you with the Amazon fees per product because there's going to be a lot less weight. So this to me is a great product. So where do we go from here? Okay, so we started out, we wanted to find out the perfect product to sell in Amazon. We then decided that, well, perfect only really means what are people buying right now? And this is what people are buying right now. We pick the niche that we want to sell in. We want to sell something for dogs. So we go to Amazon bestsellers, we go to the pet supplies, we go to the dogs category. And here we have a fabulous list that Amazon have put together for us. And it's not just 20 items. You have the top 100 bestsellers. And that is like the closest thing to insider information that you're going to have. Amazon is telling you and showing you what people are actually buying, and you can see the prices. You can see the prices that these sellers are setting, and it's obviously working for them because they are in the top 100 bestsellers. So it's removing all the guesswork from everything. So back to this, where do we go from here? Well, this is the next step. Okay, so the only two questions that you're going to have at this point, and that really is it when it comes to finding the perfect product, by the way. You do this first part and then you have two questions to deal with. One of them is, can I source this affordably? Okay, it's not even a question of can I find this product or can I source this product? Of course you can. If there's somebody selling this product, that means that somebody is making this product. Okay, and that means that you can go to that manufacturer, and there's different ways of doing that, but you can find the manufacturer and get that same product or a very similar product. In fact, I'll put a link in the description below this video to my free Amazon FBA guide. It shows you all the processes that I go through in my own Amazon business, as well as the tools that I use. And go through that because I do spend some time talking about how to source products, where to get them from, and so on. But yeah, that's not even a question. The question is, can you afford to source this product, or can you get the product cheap enough? And keep in mind that that is going to almost always come down to how many units you buy. So if you go to the manufacturer and you say, well, I just want to dip my toe in the water, I only want 100 units, you're not going to get as good a price as if you bought 1,000 units. Now, it's worth pointing out here that when I first started out, I wanted to dip my toe in the proverbial sea, and I bought 100 units of my product, and that was more expensive than my following orders when I started to buy 500 and even 1,000 units. Now, when you do your research this way, you don't really need to dip your toe in the water. Because if you think about it, dipping your toe in the water is about testing the market. Well, there's no need to do testing. These people have already tested the market for you. They've already done the research. They've already taken the risk. They've already played around with the pricing points. And here are the results right in front of you. So there's zero guessing and there's no need to dip your toe in the water. Now, a lot of times a budget is going to be a concern. I get that, of course. But if money was no object and I was looking at this, then I would think, yeah, let's order 1,000 units at least, or maybe up to 10,000 units. Let's talk to manufacturers and say, what's the best deal you can give me if I buy a shipload of, I said ship, by the way, as in boat, okay? Don't go there. So if I buy a shipload of these, what's the best deal you can give me? And as I say, there is little risk in terms of testing the market because I don't need to do that because I can see that this is the product that everybody else is buying. And if I can buy this product cheaper than anybody else, and I can come in at let's say $5.99 and this product is $6.59, then I stand a good chance to actually grab a piece of that market. Now, competing in price is not the best situation to be in, because if people start discounting their products, then it can be a race to the bottom. But you can always try and find a product that has superior features, or you can request superior features and then position your product as a deluxe version or as a premium product and justify a higher price. Now, that's a good strategy to have. But in reality, in practice, a lot of Amazon FBA sellers don't have the budget, those starting out, they don't have the budget to actually request and customize a product too much. So they end up buying the same product that everybody else is selling. If you ever look for a case for your smartphone, you'll see exactly what I mean. There are thousands and thousands of products, let's say leather cases or plastic cases, and they're all really more or less, well, not all of them, but the majority of them are really the same product. Many, in fact, are actually from the same manufacturer and is literally the exact same product. I've seen sellers using the images that they get from the manufacturers, and they're using the same as somebody else. So you can see right away that it's the exact same product, but they still make sales. So obviously having a superior product and being able to position yourself as a premium product is a great position to be in, but it's not necessarily something that you need in order to survive, to make sales and actually pay the bills. My own brand, my first brand, has a range of products that is actually pretty much the same as everybody else's. It's in a very competitive niche. There are thousands or hundreds at least of variations of this product, which is way too many. And here's the thing, I'm not the cheapest seller in that niche, but I still make sales because people don't always buy the cheapest. They usually buy the one that they like the most. And that can also be down to your branding, how you present yourself, what you call yourself. That can be a deciding factor. So when I talk about sourcing the product and being able to get it cheaper than anybody else, obviously I'm talking about a very best case scenario. But in reality, if you can buy the product affordably and still make a profit, then that's how you get into the game. Later on, when you scale and you start to buy more units, that's really when you start to reduce your costs and increase your profit. So that's the first question. Can you get this product affordably enough? Now, don't sweat it out if you can't do it as affordably as you wanted to at first. You have to get started, and there's nothing wrong with ordering 100 units, okay? But just remind yourself that you're not testing the market. The real reason for ordering a small number of units is to test the market, to make sure that you have a product that you can sell. Well, as I say, this bit here negates that, it voids that kind of research, because these products are selling. So you don't actually need to test the market. But if you don't have the budget to buy a lot of units, then you could start with 100 units just so that you can get into the game. But snap out of the mentality that you're actually just testing the water with this product, because that's not what you're doing. You have a winner. You have a best-selling product on your hands. Okay, it's just a case of buying some units and putting them into the marketplace. So that's the first question. And the second question is, can I beat this product? Okay, so you will click on the product. Let's go and visit this product. Let's go and see how many reviews this product has. It doesn't seem to have any, actually. Is it me, or are there no reviews here? Okay, well, that's interesting. There are no reviews, there are no questions. Well, if you want to get into the dog market and you're in the UK, then this is one. Hey, you know what? I've just done the work for you. There you go. This video is all you need. I've just done the product research for you. Look at that. And here's a product, and yet it looks like they have spent some time writing this up. I haven't read through it, obviously. This is the first time I've looked at this. But there are a few bullet points there, and they're nicely fleshed out, so a good job there. They do have various images and they are high resolution images. So well done on that. But, oh, good Lord, why would you do that to a dog? All right, so never mind that, eh? So the second and last question is, can we beat this product? So they don't have many reviews. Keep in mind that some products may have 2,000 or 10,000 reviews, and that's something that you have to go up against, but it's not necessarily a deal breaker for me. If I see a product that has a lot of reviews, you know what? People understand that you have to start somewhere, and if you're just starting out, you may not have any reviews. But when I look for a product, then yeah, I look at the reviews. And keep in mind that the funny thing about reviews is that the more reviews you have, the more chances you have of having 1-star reviews. And I have looked at products that have thousands of reviews, and I've just looked at the 1-star ones, and they have put me off buying that product that had thousands of good reviews. And I'm sure a lot of people do that. So that can be an advantage. If you're just starting out and you don't actually have that many reviews, then, well, if you have 0 reviews, that's not always such a bad thing, okay? So don't be put off by that. Look at everything else. So this to me looks like they have professional images that we can get, and a lot of times you can ask the manufacturer for photographs, and they've already paid good photographers to come in and do an entire session, and they have the right lighting, they have everything, and most of the time they'll just give you those images if you ask. But if not, you can find a photographer online near you or a local photographer and just get some images done. And yeah, there's nothing particularly hard about this product. So there we are. We have a perfect product if we wanted to go into the dog niche, into the dog space in the UK. Now, wrapping this up, I just want to touch up on that because it's important. If we wanted to sell in the US, in the dog market, in Amazon, then this is not necessarily a best-selling product. We don't know that. We would do the same process that I've just gone through. We will go to the Amazon.com bestsellers, we will go to the pet supplies category, we will go to the dogs category, and we would look at what people are buying right now. And those are the perfect products for that niche in that place. You see, so there's no point in sitting down trying to dream up the perfect product, and there's certainly no point walking around with a notepad scribbling down things. That's just ridiculous. So don't do that, okay? This is all you need. You get your product research done in super quick time. You get it done in 20 minutes, and you have a list of sure, proven, tested and proven best-selling products, all of which are perfect products to sell right now in Amazon. I hope you enjoyed this. I've shared with you one of my best strategies. This is how I do my product research. This is how I've been doing it. I haven't told anybody before, and I've just gone and put it on a video so that everyone can see it now. And, you know, on top of that, if you want to get into the dog market in the UK, well, here's a perfect product for you. I hope you enjoyed this. Go and try it out. It's super quick. It's really 0 stress, 0 testing, and it's all you need. Please subscribe to the channel, and that way you can keep up to date with all these videos, all these tips, and all these walkthroughs. And on that note, take it easy, and I shall catch you in the next video.